I'm just a lazy video gamer, even too lazy to make a new intro. Hello out there in the land, it's me again, the lazy video gamer, and today I have a fantastic episode, a fantastic little show for you, cause it's the final episode of this little mini-series, Alternatives to Polymega. Well, and I got one of the coolest alternatives when it comes to dump your own games on a device. I purchased myself, I had it already years before, but I sold it, sadly, in an act of stupidity. The Retro Freak clone console from Cybergadget. And first I want to mention, I looked out for the special version with the PAL or NTSC NES adapter in it. You can find this thing still on eBay for a decent price, but without that adapter included. But you can, of course, giving it a try and buying an adapter for PAL games on a Japanese NES system, because this is in mind a Japanese clone console, and so it's already made to play the Japanese games, not like in the case of the Polymega, who runs the PAL and the American versions of the game, and you have to organize yourself an adapter to play the Japanese games on that device. But you know my opinion about the Polymega nowadays. So I also, before I want to show you some material, want to highlight and mention, of course, this is coming with an HDMI output, so you can plug it in any telly that you have at home nowadays. It comes, of course, with a controller who is also the button layout is adjustable. I don't do that today because it needs time, and it's a little bit of a boring part if I would show it to you how does it works, and till it works that way I wanna like it the best. But I already tried it out. In the standard version it runs decently. The start button on my cab isn't the start button, but I know which one is it. So what does this thing, what the Polymega doesn't? Okay, it does what the Polymega also does. Of course, NES games, Super NES games, Mega Drive games, PC Engine card games. But now it's getting even better, cause it runs without an adapter Game Boy, Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance games as well. And I'm not quite sure, does it runs the Sega cards also without an adapter? As I mentioned, I'm not quite sure. I only have a few titles of the Sega cards, so it doesn't bother me in that way. It also runs if you have a Master System converter for your Mega Drive already at home, Master System games, but you need one who fits into the cartridge slot. You probably know the Model 1 Master System adapter for the Mega Drive. It's a big bulky thing and it doesn't fit in here or doesn't look great. I have a third-party adapter, so that worked perfectly fine. Yeah, what should I just check the box? Did I forgot something that it runs? No. let's fire it up. So, there are many videos out there who shows how quickly the Polymega installs some games, and yeah, today I'm a cheap bastard. I do this as well. As you can see, here an NES game with the lightning, you don't see it. It's a game that it also didn't run. It's an official game from the NES library, and yeah, that's sad. There are a lot of games from the official catalog who doesn't run on Play Much is Black machine. So just wanna say that to install it. Now it should be in it, and yeah, in fact it is. To prove it, scroll through the menu. You saw already the name of the game. And there it is. Make a little bit more noise. It's funny, it's in original on the cartridge written McDonald's Land. Yeah, the famous fast food chain had their games back in the day. They weren't too bad. Funny, it runs it in French. It's a little bit creepy. I just want to mention that because when meet Tim Curry, the actor, learned something: don't trust the clown. Maybe I can change the language in the settings, but I'm not here for that today. Just skip that through. When it comes to the game, it's a decent, not very spectacular platformer. But yeah, okay. And to show how cool this thing is, I also booting up one of my beloved repros or hacks. It's an actual reproduction from a game who was never released. Okay, that's not true. It was released on the Super NES Mini console from Nintendo as a bonus, and you know it already. It's the second part of Star Fox, but as you can see, it runs. I have to think about where's my PC Engine games are in the attic, but yeah, I want to keep it a little bit shorter. So just for demonstration, does it boot up Game Boy games? Yes, and it runs. They're running great. This game was so addicting and still is today. In my country, at a certain level, they counted how much households owning a Game Boy, and parents and teachers took the devices from the kids on the schoolyard away and gave it later, of course, after the school back. And oh wonder, the batteries were empty. I tried it out with limited runs, Night Trap, and I can't start the movie. But yeah, that brings me to the topic, because I tried it out. It was written, it doesn't run with such devices, or even the Game Boy player from the GameCube. Yeah, but I tried it out because this thing is also not compatible with the Game Boy player, and it runs. So Majesco released this Game Boy Advance movie modules back in the day. Yeah, only in America. There are several modules out. I don't have all. The quality isn't too great, but on the Game Boy Advance screen was smaller. It did a decent job. So, yeah, that's for that little thing that it runs. And yeah, now I would just wanna start up one other game from the Game Boy Advance. Of course, I know it runs up, but just wanna show it that the game did a decent job. So I'm taking my favorite car and just, yeah, it's not the best conversation, of course, but back in the day, for the Game Boy Advance, it was decent, and not only decent, it was, let's face it, a little bit impressive. I have also, of course, Crazy Taxi as Game Boy Advance module. You probably maybe know that I'm still playing this game today. It was great, it is great, and yeah. So, when it comes, it also runs, yeah, little funny things. Just wanna reset the game, cause for showing you that it has, in most cases, no trouble with hacks and homebrew games. In some cases it has, but it's a very small number who are not that great in compatibility, or has certain times, for example, some issues with booting up. Yeah. This game, of course, was never released on a module, and I have a US module version of it. just go out again, cause I wanna stay with the franchise, but wanna show there are some. Try it out. Is it that game or not? Okay, it's Streets of Rage 3. It's a reproduction, so it doesn't recognize the game by its name, but it boots up. So this one should be that I wanna show to you. It's a Mega Drive version of Super Mario Bros. 1, and I like it more than the original when it comes to the graphical presentation, because it doesn't have this flickerings. The sound is different on reason of the capability of the sound chip, but it plays good. And it's, as a little fun fact, that best version, the best Mario game on Mega Drive. There are a lot of hacks and fan games out there, but nothing beats the version from the first entry. So just want to finish the level. Also, just before I cut it, I want to mention that, of course, I tried the famous Minus World. Even that is in it. So just get very fast through the level, and I hope I don't mess it up. See? Minus World, but it's a different, and that's awesome. So, this is Streets of Rage 2. Girls Paradise comes with with an own story. Of course, the same levels, just with variations of the title screen and the sprites. Also, just for demonstration use, I just wanna show you the players. Yuri, Roll, Kendra. There are a lot of crazy characters in it, from various franchises, and I believe you should, or I had to play the game through to unlock other characters, cause I remember that Now there's working left to right, and that's to unlock those, but I'm not quite sure. Because, yeah, Chun-Li should be also in it. Yeah, it is hidden behind this strange guy is John Lee or Chun-Li as well, and the Little Red Riding Hood, and she's very funny to play. So, and that was it for this week's episode of Lazy Video Gamer Show. I just can mention enough. I always regretted to sold the system in first place. So yeah, I had to pay maybe 50 extra bucks for it to get one new unit, but it's worth it. It's in fact the price of 2 modules for the Polymega. It cost me around 250 bucks. If you need an NES adapter as well, you're still in a good price range, and it works properly and with so many cool homebrews and hacks that it is definitively, when it comes to module, not only an alternative to the Polymega, it's even better. And this thing is around for over 5-7 years, around that. It's quite old, but it does a better job than a new machine with new emulators and new techniques and databases. I mean, I can also do a database. I have right over there a database. Just to make a little fun of it. I mean, what is a database? It's a collection of data. Now I have here on this paper sheet a database with names of games on it. It's a database, but it has no use when it comes to play those games. You need to do a device for that as well, but it's a database. Okay, yeah. Now I just can say, have a fantastic... No, this package with the Retrovig arrived me so closely and so short in time that I already prepared myself for an alternative video this week. I do it for the next week, because there is a topic under my fingers in my mind that I want to talk about it a couple of weeks ago, but I never thought it triggers me that much that I will do it very soon. So yeah, now it's time to wish you a fantastic rest of Sunday, a fantastic week. Have fun with your games, have fun with those things you like and those people who you love. I hope you see me soon, and don't forget, the game is never over. I'm just a lazy video gamer, even too lazy to make a new intro. LVG. To get one new